Which is better for you, Global Entry or TSA PreCheck? These services might make your travels easier, from quicker customs inspections to expedited security screenings. They tend to reduce the stress and increase the efficiency of your airport travels. Even if you're not a frequent traveler, you can probably understand the allure of shelling out about $70 every 5 years to avoid standing in long lineups at airport security, keep your shoes on and electronics hidden, and then quickly get to your gate. When you consider that TSA PreCheck is offered at more than 200 airports nationwide by more than 85 participating airlines, including foreign carriers like Air Canada and Aeromexico, you might feel pressured to enroll right now. However, it's crucial to comprehend the specifics of the enrollment procedure, extra status benefits, and general program details before submitting your application. You should also be aware of the main distinctions between TSA PreCheck and the other U.S. Customs and Border Protection Trusted Traveler programs, like Global Entry and Nexus. These two programs will enable you to quickly go through some airport security checks. The primary distinction is that, although Global Entry also enables speedy customs processing, TSA PreCheck is only effective for security inspections conducted within the United States. Unlike when you arrive at a U.S. airport after traveling abroad, where you normally pass through a customs checkpoint, the security screening process takes place prior to departure. If you're traveling to the United States from airports that offer customs pre-clearance, such as those in Canada and a few other foreign destinations like Dublin Airport in Ireland or a few airports in the Caribbean, customs checks may also take place prior to your departure. Traveling abroad 4 or more times a year is recommended to apply for Global Entry, according to the Transportation Security Administration. In case you travel domestically frequently, TSA PreCheck is perhaps a more advantageous choice. TSA PreCheck benefits. Using designated TSA PreCheck lanes at airport security is possible with a TSA PreCheck membership. You can avoid most of the standard security hoops with these lanes. You are exempt from the regular airline regulations, such as the 3.4-ounce liquids limit, but you still need to remove your shoes, belts, and light coats. You are also not required to remove laptops or liquids from your baggage. Along with their parents or guardians, children 12 and under can also use the TSA PreCheck lane. 93% of TSA PreCheck users are thought to wait less than 5 minutes at security. It should be noted that in order to use these lanes, you must be flying with an airline that is a part of the TSA PreCheck system, which includes many international and major U.S. airlines. Membership period. TSA PreCheck is good for 5 years, with the option to renew in 5-year increments if approved. Cost. TSA PreCheck is $78 for a 5-year initial enrollment and $70 or $78 if you choose to renew in person for a 5-year online renewal. Credit card coverage. If you have one of more than 35 credit cards, you can use your points to pay the TSA PreCheck application fee or have the fee covered by the card. The following credit cards will pay the entire fee: HSBC's Premier and Elite cards, Capital One's Venture and Venture X cards, Chase Sapphire Reserve, Bank of America, Premium Rewards, Delta SkyMiles Platinum and Reserve American Express cards, and the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant card. Visit the TSA website to view the whole list. Application procedure. After completing a brief online application, you can arrange a 10-minute in-person appointment to enroll. The TSA reports that there are more than 500 locations nationwide for these appointments. We'll collect your fingerprints and run a background investigation. Following approval, you'll be able to utilize boarding passes to bypass TSA PreCheck lines and receive a known traveler number, KTN, that you should add to airline reservations. While they can take up to 60 days, applications are typically processed in as little as a week. Be aware that TSA PreCheck is only available to citizens, nationals, and permanent residents of the United States, and that applicants may not be qualified for the service if they have specific criminal records. Global entry benefits. Global entry users can expedite the clearance of U.S. customs by using special kiosks. These kiosks allow you to quickly scan your passport and fingerprints and leave the country without having to wait in line. Similar fast-track customs lanes can be available to you when entering other nations. You can get faster clearance from TSA security checkpoints by using the TSA PreCheck program, which is also available to users of global entry. Even if you are traveling with family, each youngster needs to have their own global entry enrollment in order to utilize these kiosks. Membership period. Enrollment in global entry is valid for 5 years, renewable upon approval. Cost. A 5-year membership in global entry is enrolled for $100. Credit card coverage. A lot of credit cards will pay for your global entry application, as well as the TSA PreCheck application fee. These include the Elite card from HSBC, the Venture and Venture X cards from Capital One, the Chase Sapphire Reserve, the Platinum and Reserve American Express cards from Delta SkyMiles, the Explorer, Quest, and Club Infinite cards from United, and the Bank of America Premium Rewards. Application procedure. You must first create an online account with Trusted Traveler programs in order to apply for global entry. You can pay the $100 application cost online and complete the application using that account. You will be invited to schedule an in-person interview at a global entry enrollment center if this portion of your application is approved. You will need to bring the necessary identification. Recognize that there aren't many enrollment locations. There are several centers in Canada. Some states have none at all, while others only have one. Citizens of a select few foreign nations, as well as permanent residents and citizens of the United States, are eligible for global entry. People who have a criminal history or who have been disqualified from purchasing guns are not. Does TSA PreCheck apply to global entry users? Yes. You will be able to use TSA PreCheck without paying extra costs or applying for additional applications if you are granted approval for global entry. But the opposite is not true. Global entry is not available to you if you are granted TSA PreCheck authorization. Comparing additional programs for trusted travelers, the most often used TTPs are TSA PreCheck and global entry, but depending on where you're going, there are a few more that might be useful to you. Unlike TSA PreCheck, Clear. In contrast to TSA PreCheck, which is run by the government, Clear is a privately held corporation that offers accelerated processing via airport security. Customers of Clear can provide eye or fingerprint scans, and if they walk through security at a designated Clear lane in some airports, they won't need to present identification. Clear's biometric scans are utilized instead. Though Clear members can bypass the line more quickly, you still have to go through a thorough security check that includes taking off belts and jackets, as well as taking liquids out of bags and laptops. Approximately 40 U.S. airports offer Clear, compared to TSA PreCheck's availability. Additionally, it costs more at $189 a year. Global entry versus Sentri. Similar to global entry, Sentri enables users to cross the land border between the United States and Mexico via designated fast processing lanes. Any traveler, regardless of citizenship, may participate in this program, which also entitles you to use global entry kiosks at airports and Nexus fast processing lanes at the US-Canada border. Holders of Sentri passes from Mexico must submit a separate global entry application. The Sentri program costs $122.25 per year for 5 years, which is higher than the global entry program. Global entry versus Nexus. Similar to global entry, but concentrating on the US-Canada border, is Nexus. Unlike global admission, which is only valid for admission into the United States, it is valid for entry into both nations. Borders by air, land, and sea are covered by this program. Nexus members can enter both Canada and the United States through a fast processing lane at land crossings. But in order to do so, every passenger in a vehicle must also be a Nexus member. In addition to a Nexus lane for expedited customs processing when flying into Canada, Nexus cardholders can utilize global entry kiosks when traveling to the United States. Members of Nexus are granted faster processing for maritime borders. Applications for Nexus must be authorized by the Canada Border Services Agency as well as U.S. Customs and Border Protection. Nexus is less expensive than global entry, costing $50 for 5 years. Mexican nationals who are enrolled in their nation's Viajero Confiable program, as well as citizens and permanent residents of Canada, the United States, and Mexico, are eligible to register for Nexus. Thanks for watching. Please comment, like, share, and subscribe to my channel.